Just how tough a night is this for the team? I mean, not just losing the game, but obviously seeing the guys that went down with injuries and some of them look like they could be pretty severe.
Yeah, it's very tough. I mean, I think starting, losing a game like this is tough. It was a battle. I think we did some good things, and there's some things that we got to clean up that just wasn't good enough. And then, speaking on some of the injuries, we'll see what what happens and what the reports are when we get back. But it's tough. Anytime you lose guys during the game, especially some of your best players, it's tough. And like we said all the time, it's just that next man up mentality where other guys got to step up and be ready.
How hard is it to see Micah down, knowing not just your teammate, but he's a close friend of yours too?
It's very tough. I think anybody on your team that goes down is tough. And Micah, I didn't even see the play, what happened. But anytime you're down on the ground, holding a knee, it's tough. So we'll see what ended up happening, but it's definitely tough. And obviously to lose a player like Micah was a tough blow for us.
How do you, you're one of the leaders on this team. What do you feel as far as your responsibility to kind of try to rally the guys and, just amidst all the bad news and say, hey, we're in second place, we've got 3 games left. What's your approach as a leader here?
Oh, yeah. I think there's still so much more out in front of us that, it's just that mindset where we just got to stay together and, go into this next week, big game against the Bears in Chicago. So, everybody be ready for that, but we just got to get back to work and prepare this week and, get our bodies back. But we've been here before in these tough games where you just got to stay together and keep going.
Is there a way to heighten the mood? Is there, obviously, when anything like that happens during the game and the injuries, is there a way as a leader that you can lift your guys up?
Man, you just got to get back to work, honestly. I think it's part of the game, injuries and, a tough loss like this. So it's one of those things you got to learn from it, grow from it, and we got a short week, a game on Saturday. So it's just about getting back to work and finding ways to keep improving and get back ready and get everybody back as healthy as possible for next week.
Sorry if I got everybody to ask this, but was the locker room a little bit maybe more somber than it usually is, just given the severity of everything, the loss and the injuries?
Yeah, no, I think I mentioned, anytime you lose, it's tough, and especially in a battle like this. Give the Broncos credit. They're a really good team. They did some good things tonight. And, I think right after a loss, it's always tough. Like you mentioned, battling with a couple injuries and things like that. But, it's tough, and we'll be good and bounce back from this.
What was the hardest part of moving the ball down the field in that second half? It felt like in the first half you guys had a rhythm, and in the second half at times it was a bit slower than usual.
Yeah, like you mentioned, first half we were moving it pretty well, putting up some points, and second half, obviously we had the 2 turnovers, which are drive killers, and those are tough. And I think give them credit; they did a good job in the second half. I think they got their pass rush going and tightened up some of their coverages. But we'll have to look at the tape and see exactly what it was that we just couldn't keep going and keep putting up points in that second half. But I think just give them credit right now, and we'll look at the tape and see.
How tough is it to fight for all those penalties? You guys have been so good recently of just being disciplined and not picking up those, and to have 10 penalties, obviously on both sides of the ball. But what does that do to an offense and a defense for that?
Yeah, penalties are tough. I think any of just the negative plays, penalties, turnovers, all those things are just things that kill those drives and put you in a bad spot. So it makes it tough to overcome, especially playing against a good defense like this, who I think thrives in some of those third and longer situations. But it's a good environment. It's a road environment for us where I think there'll be stuff we can improve on and keep growing. It's one of those things where you just got to do a great job of trying to focus and have great communication so we don't have some of those penalties, the ones that we can clean up. But there's always going to be penalties, but I think those things they always hinder drives and put you in a tougher spot than you need to be in.
You guys talk about how early adversity has gotten you to this point where you win 4 straight games and it feels like the momentum is there. In terms of adversity now, what gives you the confidence that this is the team with the players that are on it is the right team to overcome that adversity with everything you guys have gone through?
Oh, man, I got a lot of confidence in our team and the guys in that locker room. Like I mentioned, it's a tough loss, but it's a good learning opportunity for us. You know, it's a playoff caliber game right there against a really good team. So we'll be able to bounce back, and it just comes down to making the plays. And I think they made more plays than us tonight. And like I said, give them credit. But no, I got plenty of confidence in the guys in that locker room that we'll be able to bounce back from this.
Jordan, we obviously don't quite know what's up with Christian, but just how do you think maybe the offense has to adjust without him? It always seems like the offense is really different whether he's on the field or not.
Yeah, no, I think, like I said, we'll see what the injury is. But, yeah, I think since Christian's been back from, you know, his rehab, he's done some great things and been that explosive playmaker that we needed. So, you know, with him going out, I think, you know, we still got plenty of depth in that receiver room and other guys that played plenty of ball and could step up and make plays. And, you know, I think we'll have no problem kind of filling that void if he's got to miss time. But, yeah, it's just one of those things where it's tough. You know, you want to have all your guys out there, and injuries are a part of it. But, you know, I think we got plenty of depth in that room and plenty of guys who are playmakers as well that will have no problem if he is out.
Two more for Jordan.
What was Denver doing in the second half? Maybe they didn't do the first half. Denver's defense.
Yeah, I don't think you know, anything in particular. I'll have to go back and look, but you know, it just felt like you know, their D-line was playing at a better level, getting some more pressure. And yeah, I think it's one of those things you just got to look and see what we did in the first half that was you know, working, and then see what kind of was a turning point. But like I mentioned before, I think the turnovers you know, always are killers for you, and we got to find a way to be able to overcome those. But you know, that's always a start. But yeah, we'll look at it and see what they did.
What did you see on that ball to Christian down the field, the long one that got picked off? Obviously, great play by Surtain, but what did you see on that one?
Yeah, no, we had you know, the read we wanted for that one with the safety coming down, and you know, I tried to step into it, and you know, I got hit as I was throwing, and it just ended up being a little bit short. And like you mentioned, Pat made a really good play to be able to track it and jump in front of Christian. So it's just a tough one. I'll see what happened. I try to see the replay, but you know, it's just it's an unfortunate play, and then obviously with Christian going down on that, you know, it just makes it even worse. But you know, I'll see what I can do better on that play, and if I can get it out there, or how we can improve. But you know, I like the concept we had and the read we had.